Hello there, friends. Dale here, your friendly neighborhood video editor. If you're wondering why I am speaking to you here in this format before the show starts today, it's to explain to you why the stream is going to end so abruptly, mid-sentence even. Long story short, the computer I was recording the show on decided to shit itself and crash around 2/3 way through the recording. Thankfully, though, I was recording in MKV format, so I was able to salvage what was left. Free pro tip out there for any prospective podcasters or video editors out there, always record in MKV format. That way, if anything decides to crap out mid-recording, everything up to that point is still usable. Whereas if you're recording in something inferior, like, say, AVI format, everything you recorded pre-shit hitting the fan turns into a worthless, steaming pile of dog shit. The file sizes may be a bit bigger, and depending on the editing software you use, looking at you, Adobe Premiere, you may have to transcode it first into another format, but it is still absolutely worth the hassle to prevent you from potentially losing hours of recorded content. Anywho, with that said, let's get back to the show.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the WarWolf Podcast. Holy shit, this past, couple weeks at this point in time has been fucking ridiculous. Let's just start with it. First primary thing, State of the Union, because, yeah, Trump put them on fucking notice. That's what that was. He was putting people on fucking notice. And it wasn't just Democrats, by the way. We are looking at three primary things. One, Democrats, you're not going to be allowed to fucking do your hinky shit. We're going to fucking come at you, and we're going to hit you like a fucking freight train. Republicans, we're not going to let you just lose with grace. If you try to lose with grace, we're going to primary your asses. John Thune looking at you. Thomas Massey looking at you. Rand Paul looking at you, et cetera, et cetera.
John Cornyn.
Cornyn. Yeah, Cornyn, same deal. Then the third aspect of that was the message to the world of, fuck you, if you don't want to fucking pay up on your debts, then we'll fucking make you. By the way, so, the big topic that everybody is talking about is, and this ties directly into the State of the Union, was the tariff ruling by the Supreme Court. Now, it was a 6-3 decision, and the wording of the decision on the side of the 6 was very, very, it was so like, it was literally like, we really don't want to have to fucking rule on this. And then the other side on the 3, the dissent side of it, it was literally a case of, no, he's allowed to fucking do that. And then Kavanaugh, that brilliant fucking bastard there, literally laying out which laws he can use to do this. And unfortunately for Amy Coney Barrett, y'all watch how she got snubbed by Trump at the State of the Union?
Yep.
He walked right past her ass to the Joint Chiefs. Literally shook Kavanaugh's hand and then walked right past Comey Barrett.
Am I to assume that Comey Bear was one of the 6?
Yes, she was.
Then absolutely deserved.
Well, so Barrett and Gorsuch cited against the tariffs. Now, in terms of Gorsuch, I have not actually taken the time to read his arguments on it yet. I've been busy with other shit, so I looked at what Roberts put out, and then I looked at what Thomas, Alito, and Kavanaugh put out. I haven't actually gone to look at the others on the 6, but it's a case of with Gorsuch. It was more of a surprise than anything that he cited against the tariffs, in my opinion. But given the fact that Gorsuch is kind of in the position of like I'm kind of the bully boy for the fucking for Roberts here. Roberts probably fucking coerced him into it. Same thing with Comey Barrett. But unfortunately, that is the nature of an organization like the Supreme Court, where there's a lot of backroom shit that goes on. And I can, given Thomas's dissent, he definitely was like, nah, fuck you. And that really was what set the tone for me, was the fact that basically he just said, fuck you. And then Kavanaugh lays out the exact laws that Trump can use to enact the tariff regime. And it's actually kind of hilarious, because when that ruling was passed down from the Supreme Court, Trump was actually in the Oval Office at the time meeting with the South Korean trade representative. And supposedly, part of that went, the South Korean trade representative looked at Trump after the announcement was made and basically was like, you're about to hit us all with a shit ton more tariffs, aren't you? And Trump was like, yep, that's exactly what's going to happen. And literally the very next day, after Trump announced the new tariffs, which some of those tariffs, just for everybody else's information, some of those tariffs can go into effect immediately. Some of them have a 90-day wait period that they have to go through, and then there's others that have a 180-day wait period that they have to go through. So basically, there's a shot clock for them, for the rest of the world. Like, you have 180 days, motherfuckers. You have 180 fucking days, and then we're keeping these in place for fucking ever. Now,
question.
Just to add some hilarity to that situation in the Oval Office. Supposedly, the South Korean trade representative was right back in the Oval Office the next day, basically being like, what the fuck do you want? So the South Koreans are getting on program. They're like, no, we're good. We're good, Chief. We don't want this smoke. Anyways, go ahead, Chris.
Good. The question I have is, how did this even get to the Supreme Court in the first place? And I asked this for 2 questions. 1, this should have been shouted down in the appellate courts. 2, I don't think SCOTUS should be able to weigh in on an exclusive executive authority in the first place. Like, these two moving parts make no sense to me.
Okay, so there's 2 factors here in my personal opinion. Now, one of them is the fact, and the fact is that the appellate courts, they definitely dropped the ball across the board, in my opinion. But again, we're talking about the branch of government where you think the Congress has a lot of backroom hinky shit going on. The judiciary has more. And then in terms of the other aspect to it, I think this was actually being set up to a degree. Because here's the thing, is that the powers that Trump was using for these original tariffs were emergency powers that Congress had delegated to the president. So it was already kind of a sham situation. Like, oh, so Congress gave me this power, but all of a sudden, because I'm using it, it's a problem. Weird.
How did the emergency powers aspect even factor in? Like, we haven't been in a state of emergency for, what, a couple decades now?
So the end.
How did we even get
So the reason why they
sorry.
brought up emergency powers is because the law that Trump was using for these specific tariffs was called the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, and it dealt with emergency powers. So that's why they're talking about that's why they're talking about emergency powers in this ruling.
Okay, so walk me through this real quick. When was this enacted, and how did he even have these in the first place?
It was enacted in 1977.
Okay.
This was a part of the abject failure that was Jimmy Carter's administration and a bunch of other stuff. Because here's the thing, and now I've looked at it from two different perspectives. It's like, so Congress hands this power to the president, and then all of a sudden, they don't want the president to have these powers. But conversely, these are powers. Do we want a U.S. president that we don't want having these powers to have them? And then it's one of those things where it's like, did they inadvertently just take some emergency power away from the president that we didn't want, like, an Obama 3.0 to have? So there's multiple aspects to it that, me and several other people have talked about, where it's like, there's good, there's bad, and when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. And across the board, it looks like Trump is making lemonade right now because, again, South Korea, it reportedly was right back in the Oval Office the next day talking to Trump, being like, yo, what the fuck do you want? We can give it to you. And then in turn, you also have the situation with Japan, where Japan has basically, whatever U.S. policy needs to be, Japan's right there at our hip. The Europeans are freaking the fuck out now because, they had negotiated that original trade deal, and now that an original trade deal, it's in place right now, but then it goes away as soon as these new tariffs go into play.
One other question. And it's on the Kavanaugh ruling. If I am understanding things correctly, is Kavanaugh basically explaining like the back channels that Trump can use to actually enact the tariffs? Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah.
No, he literally laid out which laws and which sections allow him to enact the tariffs without Congress's approval.
Let me refine my question. I mean, in the case of the minority ruling of Kavanaugh, is that Trump's way of getting around the 6-3 ruling? Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah, effectively. What I think really happened there is that the Supreme, I'm guessing, and this is just a personal take of mine, I'm guessing they knew that the Supreme Court was going to rule against, because Roberts is a compromised figure. He's a Bushite. Like, of course he's gonna do anything to hinder anything that hurts the Bush dynasty. But at the end of the day, I think Thomas and Kavanaugh, which, the more that happens, the more I realize, okay, Kavanaugh is very much our guy. Thomas, Kavanaugh, and Alito got told, find us the mechanisms, find us the law. And with Kavanaugh putting that in the dissent, it literally nullified the ruling to an extent, because it's like, oh yeah, he can't do that, but sure, he could do this. And now it's like, oh, good point. Thank you, Justice Kavanaugh. By the way, these new tariffs are going to affect, period, in a story. And these are global tariffs. These aren't just reciprocal tariffs. These are global tariffs now. And every country and their mother is freaking the fuck out about it.
Yeah. Also, I think just when you mention Kavanaugh being our guy, I think it's worth noting that, the two justices who are, the most reliably our guy, well, I guess with Alito as well, but are also the ones who had the most bullshit hearings, Kavanaugh and Thomas.
Oh, absolutely. 100%. And even beyond that, you
Thomas
start looking.
Thomas predates Trump, though. That's the thing. So,
But
I don't really.
Thomas's confirmation hearing was incredibly combative.
that was the one
No,
where
I'm-
basically.
I'm saying it. I'm saying it predates Trump. Is all I'm establishing here.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then they tried the exact same playbook with Kavanaugh and lost again.
Well, and notice, and I'll point this out. Notice how those two are continuously attacked across the board.
Yep.
So it's very clear that those two are a big problem for the establishment. The establishment doesn't want them because the establishment doesn't control them.
Yeah.
Now, to further the point about the State of the Union, again, that announcement, everybody is sitting there, he's going to announce we're declaring war on Iran. Doesn't mention Iran at all. Just drills on the tariffs. That was really, to be completely frank, that was the only real foreign policy shit he talked about in terms of the State of the Union. Now, he kind of dribbled with a few things here and there when it came to, the impact it's going to have outside the country. But the only real foreign policy thing he really hit on.
He did bring up Iran in the fact that they did no nukes. And that he would prefer negotiation, but he left it open-ended.
Well, yeah, of course. He does that every single time he gives a speech about anything to do with policy. But the point is that he did not fucking hammer on Iran as a topic. He basically it was a side topic. It was effectively a tertiary topic, to be completely frank. Because again, it was in the vein about talking about how the tariff regime was used to end all these wars. And then, as a tertiary point, he brings in Iran, talking about how, hey, this was a good fucking policy because it made it very clear, hey, you're not allowed to have this. Which, again, I would like to point out that the people who are screaming the most about Iran, it's really funny because I'm like, oh no, you guys don't give a fuck. You're all about fucking, causing as many fucking deaths in the world as possible. It's called non-proliferation for a fucking reason, people. You thought rainbows and kitties were how you handled non-proliferation? No, you bomb a motherfucker. So,
People on Twitter were just panicking the shit out of that when on Twitter because over the bombing strikes on Iran earlier, in the middle of last year.
Well, no, they were all freaking out about the forward deployments that are currently going on. Which, by the way, I don't think those forward deployments are for Iran, but that's another topic. We'll get to that later.
There was a bombing run that was reported on Twitter last year in 2025.
No,
and people were freaking out.
You're talking about the 12-day war when we bombed Fordow and whatnot. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but no, the point is that
we're on the same page then.
Yeah, people are looking at the current forward deployment of a bunch of assets, and they're like, "Oh my God, we're gonna go to war with Iran again," and it's like, no, we're not. And again, I have an opinion on those forward deployments. I'll get into it at a later time.
I brought that up just as supplementary material for what you're saying.
No, I get it. So overall, again, we can look at the response from the Democrats when talking about the situation with the National Guard's woman that was killed in Washington, D.C., how they snubbed Irina Zarutska's family, how they snubbed the Medal of Honor recipients, how they did this and that and so on and so forth. Which, by the way, did anybody else notice how much of a unit the dude who got the first guy that got a Medal of Honor is?
Yes.
Like, that dude is massive. Like, holy fuck.
How in the hell do they stick his ass inside of a helicopter cockpit?
Well, it's obvious that he's a Chinook pilot because they need the bigger cockpit for his ass. It's like, fuck, all right. No wonder you're a fucking warrant officer.
They also need a bigger cockpit for something else.
Snake, Why did you make that meme?
Oh my god. But yeah, so again, the Democrats just did a bunch of snubbing. And by the way, did you notice the only Democrat that was actually clapping and actually fucking, acknowledging the points? There was only one.
There was one? Holy shit.
There was one.
Let me just put to you. Yeah, he's the one that gets made fun of for brain damage.
Oh,
Brain
Fetterman.
damage.
Fetterman, right?
Yeah, it was Fetterman.
Man, people are saying he's a dino and should just move over to the Republican Party side, but I don't agree.
No, he's
with
a blue dog. He's a blue dog. He's a blue dog Republican, just like RFK, just like Gabbard. He's a blue dog. He's an American. That's the point.
Run me through what the term blue dog means. I'm not in the know with that.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, so are you aware of paleoconservatives?
Vaguely.
All right, so think Charlie Kirk. He was a paleoconservative.
Or Pat Buchanan is kind of the arch paleoconservative.
Yeah, Pat Buchanan.
Run me through more of what their ideological stances are.
They're very right-wing on cultural issues, much more than the neocons, and also very anti-intervention in foreign policy, unlike the neocons.
Okay.
Yeah. Basically, they're a juxtaposition against neocons, whereas blue dogs are a juxtaposition against neoliberals.
Okay, so kind of more common sense Democrats, basically.
Beyond common sense, but yeah.
Sorry, I'm trying to kind of wrap my head around the framework here.
They actually have good policy positions. They actually think, for themselves. They actually, they don't get sucked into the group thing for no good fucking reason.
Here's a good example.
I knew I liked him for a reason.
Yeah, here's a good example of a blue dog Democrat, Joe Manchin.
No.
You sure?
Wait, no?
Manchin's actually a really bad example. So
I liked Manchin.
Well, okay, so here's the problem. Manchin didn't deliver on a lot of shit that he promised when it came to West Virginia. There's a reason why they got rid of him.
Well, no, they got rid of him because the Democrats hated him because he kept blocking Biden's shit.
No. So let me lay it out firmly, because this is the problem because a lot of people fell into this trap with cinema as well. Manchin and Cinema, when they started doing their quote unquote independent shit, it was literally a case of hey, we've got a bunch of problems back at home. We got to start breaking with the national party, or else we're fucked in our own elections.
Yeah, that was the case for both of them. If we don't look better to our voters, which means don't look as insane as the rest of the Democrat Party, we're not going to get reelected because
so they're just
relatively blue.
So they're just
relatively purple.
So they're just wiping their ass, basically.
Yeah, effectively. Let me lay it out like this. I went to so I was going through West Virginia to go pick up this girl I was dating a little bit back in 2022, 2023. I was driving through West Virginia, and I happened upon a billboard on the side of the road that was basically "Hey, Joe Manchin, where's the funding for this?" And it was in regards to the opioid crisis at the time. That was heavily hitting West Virginia, and one of the things that Joe Manchin had really ran on in West Virginia was getting a lot of relief for the opiate treatment facilities that were severely fucking hit in the state. The funding from the state level had been cut for most of these facilities by somewhere around a 55-60% range. And so they were stretched very thin in the services that they could offer. And, again, this is in the middle of the worst of the COVID era opiate crisis that had cropped up as part of the isolation. And so they were like the local level shit was hammering Manchin hard because they were like, nah, fuck you, dude. Get us what you promised or we're fucking gonna get rid of you. And mind you, this wasn't DNC groups or DNC related groups that were attacking him. These were regular fucking local activist groups that were just tearing into him across the board. A couple of them were Republican based, to be frank. So, there is that aspect, but it's like, no, when you got independent advocacy groups in the state itself that are coming at you like that, you're doing something wrong. It's similar to what happened with Sherrod Brown here in Ohio, where, on a local level, Sherrod Brown was probably one of the most hated motherfuckers in the state. So, it's kind of that whole thing.
So can I pause the brakes on that real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
The question I have about how independent these activist groups are, who's actually putting the funding into these activist groups to hammer Joe Manchin? Because to me, it does not sound like it's a product of Manchin's policies, because he sounds reasonable, and I really am suspicious whenever activist groups get involved. So I got to ask where the funding is from on this matter.
So I looked into 3 of them because the bill, because I noticed several of these billboards. It's just that opiate one stuck to me really well. And I did go back and look at some of the information because of some of the stuff that some people were telling me during the time period. Like, hey, Joe Manchin's a fucking wolf in sheep's clothing character. So I was like, okay, let me do some research. So I actually did look into 3 of the groups. One of the groups in question was funded through Republican-related funding sources within the state. That wasn't the opioid one. The opioid one was actually like a firmly grassroots group based in Morgantown that across the board, it seems like all their funding sources are local. Like, people throw money at them from a local level pretty fucking hard. So,
okay, so then
it's like, okay.
Yeah, that convinces me then. If that clinches it, yeah.
Well, and that's the thing, is the other one, based on the research I was able to do into it, it looked like similar shit, but it was more out of Charlotte. Okay. So across the board, it's like, well, maybe Manchin, and again, I've talked to a couple of my family members because I do have family in West Virginia, and I've talked to them within the past few years, and Manchin has come up as a topic of discussion, and none of them really liked the guy to begin with. Apparently he was kind of like he was one of those people that people are like, you know what, we'd rather vote for you than vote for this guy. And that's kind of what people viewed him like across the board. So yeah, Manchin, wolf in sheep's clothing, very similar to what Sinema was. Sinema was literally trying desperately to clean up my image, because if I don't, I'm fucked. And she was fucked anyways, because the DNC, the national level DNC, went after her hard. Manchin was fucked from a local level. Sinema got fucked from a national level. So, but that's again.
Question I got to ask.
That's what the long-winded way of saying Fetterman is an actual blue dog who is actually like, hey, no, that makes sense.
Yeah, Fetterman is a lot like a late 1950s, early 1960s Democrat without the Klan involved.
Yeah, true.
So, like a Kennedy.
He was a Democrat, not a Dixiecrat. The ones that had Klan allegiances, they were the Dixiecrats. And in regards to Kyrsten Sinema, it says Razor Fist once said, "Don't simp for Sinema."
Yeah, that is definitely a sentiment. Hey, the big boobs are there to distract you.
So, question:
Do not be enticed by the communist titties. They are there to entrap your ass.
Question: Who did we replace them with, and are they better?
So no, the replacement for Cinema is nowhere near, like, at all. He was literally
or a Democrat because of the state she's from.
Yeah, she was replaced. She was replaced with a full-blown communist. I don't remember the person's name, but
Is that Ruben
yeah,
Gallego?
it was. Yes, Diego. Thank you.
Oh, that's right. It was Diego that replaced her. That's right.
Thank you. I knew it was a Spanish name of some kind. I just couldn't remember.
Yeah.
And then in terms, I don't know who replaced Manchin.
Jim Justice,
I
the former
remember.
former governor of West Virginia, Jim Justice.
Okay.
Happy he was gone because of that BS Manchin Toomey bill that they tried to shove down our throat.
Yeah.
In 2015, 2017 area.
Now, I will point something out in regards to the State of the Union. You notice how Trump, when he was talking about the SAVE Act, he was staring Thune down. He stared him down the entire fucking time he was talking about the SAVE Act.
That sounds like he really understood what Thune is doing, and is judging him for it. Like, it feels like everybody knows, but like no one's doing anything about it except for Trump. And I have a whole rant about nihilism and shit.
Well, no, that's the thing, is that there is some stuff that's being done on a congressional level. There are several Republicans across the board that are trying. Basically, there is an attempt to get rid of Thune. There's an attempt to, basically everybody's trying to find dirt on Murkowski and Tillis and Thune and who's the other one?
McConnell.
McConnell. Well, McConnell. McConnell at this point in time, he's a fucking corpse.
He's as vegetative as Biden.
Yeah.
Does he even hold any power anymore as a result?
Technically, yes, because he still has a seat.
Technically, but he's already handed the reins off, and you can tell that the Republican Party or the establishment party, I should say. The establishment is definitely in a really weakened state because of it, because without McConnell, without Pelosi, without a few of the other key players within the establishment, they're in a really weak position.
Mm-hmm.
And literally they're just hoping for the elections to go the way they want them to, so that they can be replaced, with people that actually hold to the establishment.
Yeah, right now, the main reason the Save America Act has either not gone to the floor and gotten a vote, or been killed, either direction, killed without going to the floor, is because Pelosi and McConnell are both MIA.
Yeah.
Otherwise, one of them would have forced the issue by now.
Yeah.
I just want to bring in a little bit of information that I found because I peruse a lot of different internet media. One of I found an interview that someone did for Pelosi where she said, and I quote, "I stood up for when Trump was saying that," which was a blatant lie. But because you brought up her being MIA, that reminded me of that interview she did for certain media that she claimed to have stood up during the Trump thing.
She's brain fried enough where she might think she actually did.
Yeah.
I just thought I'd bring that up because that's a neat tidbit of information to kind of just add on to the whole thing.
Fair enough.
So sorry for the interjection. If that came across as interrupting, I do apologize. But I like adding puzzle pieces.
Well, absolutely good information to add in. If they're going to say something, and they hold their feet to the fire if they say something, whether it's good or bad, you always make them accountable.
So, thought that would be nice to, actually know. Warhound, you there?
Yeah, sorry, I was just reading something real quick that somebody had sent to me. the fact of the matter is across the board, the SAVE Act is more than likely going to pass, to be completely frank, because they know it's going to pass, because there are so many Democrats that, unfortunately for them, are in districts where a lot of people fucking support it. And unfortunately for them, they don't want to get replaced by social Democrats. And so they have to vote on it. And inevitably, it will be a case of they do. And, you know, again, we're looking at 89% approval rate on the SAVE Act.
Yeah.
And we're talking some pretty rigorous polling at this point in time on it.
Question. Is it supermajority or is it 51-49?
At this juncture, would it be... Yeah, it would require 60.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or they could just, you know, bring back the talking filibuster and bring it down to 50 plus VP.
Yeah, well,
once again, John Thune is not doing.
Yeah.
I honestly think he's trying to just stall for time. That is my general... I think he's trying to get Democrats in power so that he can just absolve himself of responsibility and just blame everyone else for his incompetence. That is my belief on Thune.
Oh no! It's not incompetence. What the establishment is trying to do is they're trying to hand the Senate, because the numbers that are coming out of the House right now, we might actually gain two to three seats in the House. They're trying to make sure that at least the Senate happens, so that they have a chance of blocking a shit ton of things. And Thune is just an establishment fucking douchebag who is playing for time, because this, again, as I said, the SAVE Act is going to happen. It's just whether or not it happens before June or after June. And if it happens before June, that means we can fortify and cause a big problem for these assholes in the midterms. But if it happens after June, it will not be applied to these midterms, and it will be 2028 when the SAVE Act actually comes into effect. So that's the biggest problem is actually getting it passed before June, because, you know, one of the things that we're currently looking at is a lot of people are looking at the primaries, because right now Thomas Massey is sitting at a 70% chance to win his primary. Which, if you don't know, that's like basically, oh, you're going to lose. Like, an incumbent having less than a 90% chance of winning is a big fucking problem. And the polls, you know, when you actually get down to the meat and potatoes of the polls, it's very 50-50 versus Massey, and I forget Ed's last name off the top of my head. Shit. Fuck. Yeah, you'd have to pull it up. I don't remember his last name.
I think it's Ed Gillane.
The guy that did not stick his wig in somebody else's wet when his wife was dying of cancer.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's actually funny enough. Okay, so frankly speaking, I love how Democrats try to use, and libertarians try to use that talk, like, oh, but Donald Trump cheated on his wife. First off, if you think Donald Trump cheated on Melania without asking permission, you're fucking stupid. Melania ain't gonna let him do jack shit without giving him permission. It just ain't gonna happen.
Why are these people moralizing about that when they have literally Bill fucking Clinton on video getting a blowjob from Monica Lewinsky?
Well, actually, that's not even the point. The point is that they're trying to moralize the situation in their favor, and it's like, no, Thomas Massey, his wife is dying of cancer. Like, literally, this man should be by her side at every waking fucking moment.
Absolutely.
out of a sense of fucking duty, and instead he's off gallivanting with a political spook who turns out to be a Democrat fucking agent.
Yeah.
Which, by the way,
duty, just flat decent.
Yeah.
What
well,
I'm just.
By the way, yeah, he's tried to deflect away from his wife, being like, she's voted for Trump in the past 3 elections, and it's like, okay, that's cool. What about her political donation history? Oh wait, she's donated exclusively to Act Blue over the past fucking 20 years.
Here's the thing. What I'm stating is that the people who moralize over the cheating aspect of it, it makes no sense to me to focus on that when the focus should be on the the fact that his wife is dying of cancer, because to me that's the cheating part is unnecessary news. It should be the focus on the cancer, but they're not focusing on it. They're just focusing on the cheating part.
No, they're deflecting. It's a deflection.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The libertarians, very specifically libertarians, by the way, because the libertarians are the worst about this. They're deflecting away from it because they're so desperate to preserve their golden boy. Well, the problem is that I was talking to a buddy of mine who, he was a pretty hardcore fucking libertarian. He's completely flipped the script on the libertarians because he's like, now wait a minute, if Thomas Massey is receiving money from this group of people, and then and then Rand Paul is receiving this money from this group of people, they're a bunch of fucking lying pieces of shit. The smurfing data, and this is the thing that I do know for a fact, when the LPNH got a hold of the smurfing data and they were able to verify that smurfing data when it came to Rand Paul, you notice how they talk a lot of shit about Rand Paul now. Just saying.
I mean, I don't blame them. Despite leaning on the fucking libertarian side, I fucking hate how dishonest they are. I despise how disingenuous the people in that general sphere are acting. Because
again, to me, you look at Chase Oliver and you realize.
I just hate. I'm just a very anti-big government kind of guy. I just want people to just be able to exist autonomously with as little government interference as possible. That's my libertarian stance. And I'm not getting that vibe from any of the libertarians in Congress right now, so that it just drives me crazy.
All right, so I also Stoner, make sure, or Dale, make sure to include Stoner's little meme there with the Congress. Just make sure the squad is on full display.
God, those are the worst.
Yeah,
they are the worst.
So to tie into more of the crash out, let's talk about the Olympics a little bit.
Yes.
So walk me through that, because I refuse to watch the Olympics. It's lame and gay usually.
I am going to have to pull up most likely the greatest TV chyron, news chyron of all time. Give me a moment. I need to find it.
Well, I want to see what this is.
I found it. Since we're talking about the Olympics,
I want to see this before I make any comments about this stuff.
All right, here you go.
Okay. Can I?
Okay. Oh yeah, that's pretty good.
Give me a second. That hit way too good for me.
Oh Lord, I love it.
Like, God. How do you, a nation that invented hockey, lose against the American?
Both the women's and the men's team.
As
it was said, after booing the national anthem, the Canadians lost the mandate of heaven.
Oh yeah. I remember that. Like,
Right?
I love how there's this
here's
like meme where like anyone who boos the American national anthem is just cursed to lose. I love it.
Yeah.
I fucking love it.
here's the funny thing. Here's the funny thing about this match. The Canadians needed this win.
Yes.
I'm talking they needed anything to one up the Americans. Whereas us, on the other hand, hell, we just wanted to taste some Canadian tears.
Yeah, and it was the crying that came out of this loss from from Canadians was it was spectacular to behold. The
No.
tears were
It
delicious.
wasn't just spectacular. See, that word doesn't encapsulate it properly. It was cathartic
Yes.
because they were so, like as Stoner said, they were desperate. They were so desperate for something to use against the Americans. And then all of a sudden, we trounce them so hard that they physically, like, we're talking about people. I watched one video where a woman literally threw up in the middle of the bar.
Mhm.
Like, mind you, not drunk. She wasn't drinking anything. She physically just vomited after they scored that second goal.
Yeah.
So she vomited out of psychosomatosis? Are you serious?
Yeah.
Yeah, like pure,
That is
unadulterated, just wretched right there in the bar because of, oh my God, my stomach just dropped to my fucking shoes.
I did not expect hockey to exercise a woman's demons, man.
Yeah. That is just how big of an inferiority complex Canadians have about America.
If you didn't expect expect that from
okay,
hockey, you've never lived in Michigan.
Okay,
No, of course
Dale,
not.
let me ask
Even
you.
if I'm a
okay, Dale,
Detroit Red Wings fan.
Okay, Dale, let me ask you this since you are Canadian. What is the national identity of Canada other than we're not America?
So you're half right. The Canadian national identity is we're not America and we're better than America. That's all. That and hockey. That and hockey.
And you take all three of those things away when you combine the separatist movement that's occurred in Canada with us trouncing them in hockey, plus the fact that the Americans have literally bent us over a barrel in everything except military because, we just haven't bothered to kill them yet.
Yes.
The Canadians don't have an identity. They're going through a severe identity crisis.
Yes.
I'm going to disagree on one point, and I do not mean to insult you, Varg, but they do have Quebec.
No. So the Quebecois are different. The Quebecois national identity isn't we're not America and we're better. The Quebecois national identity is we're not Canada and we're better. Also Poutine.
Okay, okay. You know how Texas is?
Yes.
Well, Quebec, for lack of better words, is basically
It's gay
Canada's
Texas.
Texas.
It's gay Texas.
No, it's French Tech. No, it's
gay
frozen.
Texas because they're French.
It's laying gay in French.
Frozen Frog, Texas.
I'm sorry, Dale, but yeah, your province is French. It's fake, gay, and retarded.
I think South Park portrayed Quebec perfectly.
Well, one thing I'll say about Quebec, its Frenchness is the only reason it's not currently overwhelmed by Indians.
Yeah, true.
The Quebecois antagonism towards everything that English keeps the foreigners out, which is pretty basic.
Yeah, hey, I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
Can you not make the Quebec sound based, please? Can you not? please.
And
There are parts
And I
of it
need
that
to
are
know,
based,
like,
and then most of it is very unbased.
and there is something I need to point out. The Indians that Dale is talking about are not the Tomahawk Indians.
No, it's
They're
the
not the
Red-
Peace Pipe Indians.
Yeah,
Red Dawn-
they're
they're
Red
talking
Dawn
about the
they are-
people from India.
they
People from
they are the street shitters.
Yes. The Red Dawn.
Yeah, I knew you were talking about the Pajits. That's what I was saying. That's why I said they were based for not wanting them.
Mhm.
That's what I was saying.
Anyway, so getting back to the Olympic crash out. So we have the Canadians crashing out. Then we have leftists crashing out.
Yep.
Because apparently the rightoids aren't allowed to adopt the cute Wasian. Guess what, motherfuckers? We're colonizing that shit.
Yep.
In more than one way. If you catch my drift.
Yes.
Okay, Stoner, if you have to add that little bit at the end, it's not nearly as funny. But no, like it's really funny because like the response to Alyssa Liu has been absolutely hilarious, especially given the fact that she, first and foremost, it's very clear that she's very Republic of China across the board. Her dad is her dad for a fucking reason. By the way, the tankies hate her dad, by the way. So the fact that the gay retards thought that she was somehow on their side, it's like, no, you just convinced yourself through some parasocial bullshit that she was on your side because, she's a left-leaning moderate on some shit. When in reality, she's a hardcore fucking anti-CCP girl.
Based.
And, oh, by the way, what are the majority of us over here? We're a bunch of anti-CCP motherfuckers.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, she's our girl. Go fuck yourselves. You ain't getting. It's just funny. It's just comical.
But here's one thing. You know how to make a CCC? God, that's too many C's. Do you know how to make a CCP motherfucker seethe and get angry and have an autistic screeching fit?
How?
There's many ways.
Honestly, in a just
Oh,
world,
China.
tankies would not exist. Just gonna say.
Yeah, you're right. Call China West Taiwan.
Yes.
Yeah, that'll do it.
One of my buddies
Literally.
does that actually.
I literally have. I literally have the shirt.
Nice.
No,
Yeah,
I
and
so
X doing that.
so I have the China is West Taiwan shirt, and then I have Ukraine is Russia shirt. It's
Nice.
great. Yeah, Mr. Z, before he got a little retarded, he did make some banger shirts. But no, the simple fact is across the board, you really actually get into the meat and potatoes of the crash outs that are happening, and it's literally they're pissed because men's hockey shows up to the State of the Union. They tried to tout, the women's team isn't showing up to the State of the Union. That's a huge victory for us. And then Trump, is like, oh yeah, the women will be at the White House in a couple weeks. and then they lose that win because they're like, wait. And
So-
it's just like, yeah, fuck.
I had heard a rumor on a bit of a serious topic of the State of the Union. I had heard that there was a rumor going around that at the State of the Union they were going to basically bring in a bunch of illegals into the chamber that the Democrats were.
No, that rumor was circulated by some players that we've now confirmed are left-leaning agitators initially. That rumor
Okay.
was being circulated just to cause chaos. Now, me personally, I'm sitting there, I'm like, I saw that, and I was like, I doubt it's going to happen, but DHS could do the funniest thing.
Yeah, I mean, that would be great. It would just be a few more deportations. You lead them
Well,
in there,
the
they get
problem I
deported.
had, and this was my concern when that rumor was brought up, why would they bring in illegals in any other context other than to attempt an assassination and hostile takeover? That was what that rumor gave me vibes of. Maybe I'm off base, but there really is no other purpose of bringing them in except for very sinister intentions. So, that was my concern.
So I don't disagree with you, to be completely frank. Especially given some of the topics that I've had with, or one of the topics I should say, that I had with Will the other day. Which, Will, thank you for entertaining my bullshit.
Yeah. I was bored and needed to stay awake, so it worked out.
So at the end of the day, in my personal opinion, yes, that is a possibility. Now, the topic that I discussed with Will, I'll get into later after we start talking about Mexico, Iran, and Cuba and whatnot, because that's more in line with that stuff. But, frankly speaking, I don't think you're that off base. I don't think you're, crazy for that summation. Sorry. But then we have one further crash out that was in relation to the whole thing, and that was Jake Paul's wife.
That was not something I expected. What the fuck?
What did Jake Paul's wife do?
Oh, she won gold in speed skating.
Really?
Again.
Interesting.
Oh, that's right.
My brain went into a totally different direction with that.
So Jake Paul's wife, she's an Olympic level speed skater. She's fucking gorgeous. She's a fucking badass. She fucking does she's amazing at speed skating. Like, watching this woman fucking just go is fucking insane. And the absolute crash out from leftists who are like, oh my God, I can't believe she married Jake Paul. Like, oh, you're so good at this, and then you married an American, so on and so forth. It was hilarious. And you know how I countered people whenever people were bitching about it on Twitter? I'm like, you're just mad she's ours by default.
Yep.
Get fucked.
There. Like, look, I'm not a fan of the Pauls or anything, but like, come on. Why wouldn't they? It's like they're millionaires, they're big names, like Logan's in the WW fucking E full time. Like, I would not blame a woman for marrying a Paul. I'm just gonna say.
Yeah.
Okay, first off, I'm gonna say this right now. They're Ohio boys. Why wouldn't any woman marry an Ohio boy? Just saying.
Fair enough. Fair.
Reasons.
Yeah. Also,
Shut up, Michigander.
Before we move off the topic of the Olympics, just wanted to add one last thing for you all to see. This is a video of a truly defeated people.
Okay.
Hold on, I'm opening.
All right.
Oh. Wait, I hate them so. I usually don't like Autism Capital, but oh my God, this is brutal.
Yes.
This is
Okay.
brutal.
Okay, real quick. Okay, I have to comment. All right, so I get the point of why people think that's funny. The stuffed animals were actually a thing that they were just doing in general across the board. I don't know what the stuffed animal is, but like everybody who competed and won medals got one of those stuffed animals.
Okay. Well,
So,
why?
I think it's just a character that they decided to make for the Winter Olympics this year. I don't know the full intent. I haven't bothered to go looking into it, but like all the figure skaters got that. All the snowboarders got that. All the skiers got that. So on and so forth. So
Sounds like commercial product placement.
probably, possibly, I don't know. The point is at the end of the day, I get the joke, but everybody was getting those things.
Fair enough.
Okay, I got something I want to ask. Now, we've kind of joked around and shit about making Canada our bitch. But,
Do we really want to, though?
Yes.
Yeah,
you know, I kind of...
Choices up there.
Well, I was kind of, I kind of agree with Cross's statement, and the reason why is because of, would it really be worth the time and effort to impose our will on a bunch of stiff-necked individuals like the Canadians are?
Let me explain. Okay, hold on.
So are we taking them as a territory or as an actual state? That's
You
the
would
question.
have to take them as a territory. Otherwise, you're just getting California too.
Stop.
That's my concern.
Let me take a hit of my vape before I explain this, because I've had to explain this 20 fucking times before.
Yeah, but it bears repeating, man. It bears repeating. Because not everybody's in on it, you know?
Alright, so, first and foremost, do you guys know how admission of a state into the Union works?
Not entirely.
Doesn't it require 3/4 of a vote of all
So
states?
first off, no. It requires a place to obtain the status of territory. So first off, they have to become a territory in order to become a state anyways. The second phase is they have to normalize their laws with the United States legal structure. That takes years to do. And it fundamentally changes a people in many ways when they have to change all of their laws that they've pre-established, or the lack thereof of laws, in order to become a state. This is why, for example, it took so long for certain states in the Union to happen, because they had to normalize their laws. Then they have to normalize commerce. Then they have to do this, and they have to do that, and so on and so forth. You're talking about a 50-year process for most of these states, or most of these places, I should say, to become states anyways. And a lot of things change over that course of time.
Right, but the
Now,
question is do
in the
voter
case-
Democrats? That's the
Okay,
question.
well, let me put it to this way. In terms of Alberta and Saskatchewan, you're basically getting two Ohios.
You're
in
still
terms
getting
of-
Quebec. You're still getting Quebec, dude.
Okay, listen. First off, Quebec has already said they will not be part of the United States, which, sorry, Dale, we're going to have to fucking invade Quebec. The same thing with Ontario.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
they're
why
the
not?
they have don't they have Ottawa and Toronto and all the big names? If we integrate those things, those people are not going to
Now,
vote for our
listen, Jesus Christ.
Okay. I'm sorry.
You think that most of those people are going to remain here. The vast majority of them are European by default. See, this is the problem, is that you're viewing them from the perspective of, oh, they're Canadian. No, they're fucking not. They're European. They're not Canadian, they're European. They're not going to remain on that piece of territory because they're not going to want to be a part of the United States. They're going to flee. The vast majority of them. And mind you, again, we're going to invade them. Because after Alberta and Saskatchewan split, because if Alberta leaves, Saskatchewan's right behind it out the door. Manitoba is fucking splitting at that point in time too. And then there's going to be a civil war in British Columbia. Because the entire
war.
everything.
No, not a civil war.
No. Let Warren continue.
No, it is going to be a civil war because Vancouver is not going to let the rest of the province of British Columbia leave. Because if you actually look at the voting patterns of British Columbia, everything north of Vancouver, it votes in opposition. Every bit of it. There's not a single riding in British Columbia outside of Vancouver that votes in line with Vancouver. So
God, that gives me Oregon vibes, man, with Oregon and Portland.
yes, it's
Yes.
exactly the same thing.
Yes.
So at the end of the day, this idea that the demographics and the voting patterns are going to any way, shape, or form remain the same by the time we take over Canada, which it's going to happen. You're kidding yourself if you think they're going to do so. Because again, we're going to kill a bunch of people from Ontario. We're going to kill a bunch of people from Quebec.
You'll have to forgive my paranoia, man. I just live inside a heinous blue state.
No, I understand.
Okay, what's going to be our reasoning for going in there and invading the country to begin with? Because we can't exactly just do it willy-nilly, otherwise the American people are going to turn on the government.
You can just do things.
Well, yeah, you're okay.
Realize.
Dale's right, but you're also right, Stunner. And I can tell you what the justification's going to be. The fucking fact that there is a million, probably 1 million to 2 million man fucking army of fucking Jeets. I just said that out loud in the middle of the yard. Oh my God. Anyway.
I mean, come on.
Somebody's getting counseling.
Did I just get a girls frontline meme here? This is a girls frontline meme.
Anyways.
Somebody's getting counseling.
But the point is that when you have a 1 to 2 million man fucking army sitting on your fucking border that can launch a fucking massive insurgency campaign into the northern United States in order to affect as much damage. Like, you think the Europeans wouldn't put a bounty? Hey, you kill somebody, we'll pay you $500. And anything you fucking steal from America, you get to keep it. You think they wouldn't do that?
Oh God! If the Europeans put bounties on the heads of Americans, Europe is probably going to turn into a fucking atomic wasteland.
No,
God,
the simple fact.
You cannot make me even more erect as I already am, man.
No, the point is at the end of the fucking day, we're talking about.
You sounded just like Mitch.
We're talking about a country that is the staging area for a war against the United States. Exactly what it was back when the revolution happened.
You know what's funny? Is here a long time ago, I read a book about a war between basically the Europeans and the Chinese both gang up on America. And guess where the main front of the invasion came from?
Canada?
Yeah, I can tell you exactly what it was.
Canada.
Yep.
And do you know how they moved? And do you know how they moved all those troops in there undercover?
How?
Migrant?
As a UN training exercise.
Oh, not surprised, but whatever. But the simple fact is, there's a massive insurgency that is being built to operate outside of Canada, from within Canada, and that insurgency is going to operate in the United States. So we're going to kill a bunch of the motherfuckers. Don't think for even a second the demographics are going to stay at all similar.
Question: Are those Indians going to part of the liberal voting demographic, and that's why when we exterminate them, the voting demographics are going to change?
No. So
That's
part of it?
Well, no, Canada was this retarded electorally before they got here, unfortunately.
Okay.
The native Canadians are still just as politically stupid as they always have been. Remember, they elected Justin Trudeau, I think, in 2010, and the wave of Indians only began after that.
Okay, that makes sense. That was what my brain was trying to account for. It was were they part of the Trudeau brigade? Okay, that answers it.
But no, the simple fact is that there's an insurgency brewing on our northern border, just like how we have an insurgency on our southern border.
Indeed.
And it's a good time to talk about that.
Yes.
Guadalajara, you beautiful son of a bitch, how you show your colors.
Okay, I gotta ask. Okay, I gotta ask. Is President Scheinbaum in due for another Delta-sponsored flight?
No, actually, El Presidente is actually trying to handle the situation because El Presidente has a bounty on her head from CJNG.
Oh, really?
Yes.
And here I was thinking El Presidente was the cartel's bitch.
Well, so
She is.
But the Mexican government under her is the one who killed El Mencho, which is what started all this cartel attacks.
Yep.
So it's like
So
Also,
basically,
I
she's
just really-
she's not really doing this for the good of the Mexican people. She's doing it just to save her own ass.
No, because this whole situation's terrible for business as well. She's doing it because she has to, because she's going to get replaced if she doesn't. And if she gets replaced, she gets killed. So, yeah, she's doing it for the betterment of Mexico, but she's also doing it because she doesn't want to get killed.
yes.
Yeah, I don't think those two run contradictory. You know, they're kind of mutually inclusive.
Yeah, very.
Also, just
So,
before we jump too far into that, is one other thing I want to include here. That kind of also segues back to our earlier topics as well. Well, I'm gonna post a thing, and you don't have to watch the video, but just the tweet itself is fitting. Talking about Canadians.
Yes. Absolutely.
Oh, that made my day.
Yeah. A bunch of Canadians getting surrounded, and by the way, have you guys heard that the cartel is refusing to take Canadians as hostages?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Why?
Because apparently it's harder to get money out of the Canadian government than it is to get it out of the U.S. government. So they're not even bothering with taking Canadians as hostages.
Okay, that's fair. Plus, like the Canadian dollar is worthless anyway, so yeah, that makes sense.
Well, no, it would be in U.S. dollar.
Okay, I gotta ask. If they start taking American hostages, and they start killing American hostages, then don't they understand that that's when we're going to start carpet bombing their fucking areas?
Well, no, we're doing exactly what we've been doing. So here's the thing that a lot of people don't realize is that the Mexicans took credit for the strike on El Mencho, but here's the thing is the U.S. is the one that done it. We were the ones that killed the bastard. It was Delta. Which, oh, by the way, I'm gonna point something out. Delta was supposedly deployed in Europe at the time, and yet for some reason Delta shows up in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm just saying. It's like misdirection. I love it. But this is the thing with CJNG is a lot of the operations that we've been busting up here in the U.S. are linked to CJNG. They're not linked to Sinaloa. They're not linked to a couple of the other cartels that people might think of. A lot of it's linked to CJNG. Which then, because we hit El Mencho and then got them to expose their assets the way we did, oh, it's all intelligence. Every bit of it.
So
Kick
I'm
the
gonna have to
hornet?
take a quick. I'm gonna have to take a quick break. So I'm gonna mute my mic.
No worries.
All good. But we kick a hornet's nest, and we just follow their asses home. And then we just start bushwhacking motherfuckers over time.
That works.
Oh, hey, this weird warehouse that a couple of the cartel vehicles went to. Oh, look at that. They're using that warehouse for human trafficking. Hit it. So on and so on and so on.
Well, I know one thing. The sooner we can pacify Mexico and Canada, the better off we're going to be.
Well, so here's the thing is I think that the move against Mexico is coming soon. See, I think, and this is why I wanted to wait until we got to this before I start talking about the whole Iran situation. I think the, forward deployments towards Iran are actually a misdirection, full bore. Because again, the Delta guys supposedly were deployed to Europe. And, they're going to go in and they're going to snatch Khomeini. And then all of a sudden Delta shows up in Mexico. Oops.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like we're deploying forces in other places of the world to take, get people to drop their guard, and then we hit them when they're least expecting it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that situation is bearing itself out very hard because you look at the situation with the Druzhba pipeline. They hit the Druzhba terminal, shut off the access for Hungary and Slovakia from Russian energy resources, and then all of a sudden we've got whispers about attacks in Turkstream and Blue Stream. Give me a moment. I need to mute myself.
No worries.
Today.
All right, I'm back. Sorry.
No worries.
Okay. Before you start going, you said they hit the pipeline. The way I heard it didn't specify who they were. Now
Oh,
I know
Ukraine.
that answer, but
Yeah, Ukraine. Well, Ukraine already admitted as such that they're the ones that blew up the Druzhba pipeline terminal. They already admitted it.
did not know that part.
Yeah, because their whole justification was Hungary and Slovakia are refusing to allow aid from Europe to come through, and it's because they're dependent on Russian energy resources, and so we're just going to take that dependency away from them. Well, again, the Russian embassy in Ankara put out an announcement saying, hey, there's going to be an attack on Turkstream and Blue Stream. And Turkey immediately straight up told the Ukrainians through the back channels, and this was evident by the fact that Ukraine, they backed off on a few things. They were like, if you touch Turkstream or Blue Stream, we're going to fucking kill you. Which, that would be a funny turn of events. Turkey just dropped forces into Ukraine and starts fighting alongside the Russians because they dare touch the pipeline.
Wait, so if the Ukrainians attacked Turkey like that, couldn't Turkey invoke NATO Article 5 against the Ukrainians?
Yes, they could.
That would be hysterical.
Knowing the Turks, that's probably what they do. And then when the leadership in Brussels denies it, then that's when Turkey decides to go their own way.
Well, no. Turkey wouldn't do it anyways. Because Erdogan's in such a precarious position right now, it's unfucking real. He wouldn't do that. But the point is the irony of it is that yes, he could invoke Article 5. And that's it. I just find that hilarious. The fact that that irony exists in the world.
So why is Erdogan in a precarious position? Like, hasn't he been consolidating power pretty regularly for the last?
He's in a very precarious situation right now because basically he could either get unelected or killed by fucking anybody, and the people of Turkey wouldn't give a shit because they'd be like, yeah, anything's better than what we're dealing with right now. The economics in Turkey are fucking atrocious at this moment. Oh. And it's also affecting the military. Because if you guys don't know this, the Turkish military operates off the Janissary system. So they make their own money to pay for their own people. And so if the economy of the country downslides too hard, then the troops aren't getting paid.
And here's the thing about the Janissary system. That's a holdover from the Ottoman era.
Yeah.
No.
I say that for the any new listeners who don't know.
Okay. By the way, real quick, this is just dope as fuck. I'm posting it inside job. This is just dope as fuck. That's a great job, in my opinion. That's a fantastic job.
Very nice.
Yes, it is. They got the metallic on the optics right, which is hard to do.
Well, look at the transparent areas. That's painted. That's not the polymer. That's painted.
Oh, I noticed.
Which, to be completely frank, the fact that these are supposed to be proxies for Tau stealth suits in 40K, that looks really good. No, I'm fawning over this because I love stealth suits. Whenever I play Dawn of War Dark Crusade or Dawn of War Soulstorm, I almost exclusively use stealth suits.
Color me shocked.
I'm a sneaky bastard.
Yes, you are a bastard.
Yes, I am very much a bastard. I was there taking pictures. Not literally taking pictures because I've seen the pictures. I was basically taking pictures of whatever the fuck. Something would catch my eye and press the button. I was like 9 or 10 months old at the time.
Very nice.
But yeah, so anyways, getting back to the point of the conversation, after I, see that great thing, which, hey, go ahead and include that image in there just because that's fucking, that bro, stellar work. I gotta give him applause. I hate the fact that I'm still locked on Twitter, which by the way, guys, I got locked again.
What did you say this time?
A day?
Yeah, who was you giving it to this time?
Thomas Massey?
Yeah, okay.
What did you say?
Yeah, well,
Dale, blur this out.
All right.
I said we should Thomas Massey in Nevada glyphosate.
Oh, jeez. Okay, that's fine.
Hold on. Hey, check the side chat. I got just the meme for him.
Very nice.
Yeah.
But no, I hate the fact that I'm locked right now because I'd love to follow those guys just because it's like, hey, you did stellar work. Thank God. I love it. Anyways, getting back to the core conversation.
Must be.
What we end up seeing with the situation in Mexico is that it's like, oh, okay, we misdirected the fuck out of them, made them think we were, going to be attacking Iran. All of a sudden, we turn around, we attack Mexico, we attack El Mencho in Mexico. Force all of his little cockroaches to the surface, and now we're just collecting targeting data.
Yes. Oh,
the cleanup of Mexico is coming very soon, in my opinion.
yes. Sorry to divert for a moment, but I finally found a proper way of using AI.
Oh God. Okay, that's funny. That's funny.
Okay, incoming is a video clip. Now this is how you use AI.
Mom, why are we at Waffle House? It's for CQB training and breakfast with a show. Oh, that actually makes sense. Of course it does.
It's for CQB training and a breakfast with a show. Oh fuck, I love it, dude. Okay.
True.
Okay. Okay. In this chat, we love Leaffoot, we love Asari, we love Razorwind, and we love Kirshi.
No, we like them. You have an obsession with them.
Yes.
Yes, you are a fanboy. You are a fanboy from hell.
Yes.
Anyways,
Stoner is just slowly importing more and more VTubers into this server.
Dang that.
dude, the first
Hey.
first time I see Leaflet come into the Discord, I'm bowing out for 24 hours. I'm just gone.
Well.
Don't fucking call me. Don't text. Don't write. Don't fucking do shit. Because this motherfucker is gonna be fucking. It's gonna be like a gardening hose everywhere.
We're gonna need a gardening hose.
Yes. So.
Oh well. If you need another meme, I posted another one inside chat. And also, let me put it to you this way. Whenever you get better news from an anime slime chick and an anime foxu, you know society's fucked.
So, VTubers are Indians. This server is Canada, and Stoner is Justin Trudeau.
What?
Okay, if Razor if Razor hears you say that, he's gonna kick your ass.
Oh my god! Oh fuck! I wasn't ready for that. Down. Oh my god! I was not ready for that. Fuck. Holy shit!
No. Well,
You're
I
fucking terrible.
stand by what I said earlier, and I will repeat it again, just in case you missed it the first time. When society gets to the point to where you get more accurate news from a foxu and a slime chick, you know everything's fucked up.
Indeed.
Well, now, here's the thing. You've got all of these people, and at the end of the day, what the VTubing community, what nobody expected with the VTubing community was, oh, there's going to be people that disagree with us, and they weren't ready for it.
Yes.
So at the end of the fucking day, like, frankly speaking, it's not surprising that happened, because it's the same thing that happened with the Libertarian Party, for example. All of a sudden, a bunch of libertarians, very particularly the LPNH, fucking said, you know what? Fuck the LP completely on a national level. All of you fucking suck. And you're all fucking wrong. and you don't want to admit you're wrong, because if you admit you're wrong, then that completely destroys your fucking self-worth. Because the only self-worth that a libertarian has is being a contrarian. If they can't be a contrarian anymore, then they might as well just take a drop off a bridge. That's as simple as it is.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. And I'll say, and it's funny that you say that, because the thing that, for lack of better words, my VTuber awakening was seeing the bullshit Anna Valens was doing to Kirshi, trying to dox her and shit because Kirshi would refuse to toe the progressives' party line.
Well, again, when you have this situation again, I made the joke months ago now. All the men, all the communist tanky men we can put into camps, but we can't do that to the women because they're going to get off on it.
Yeah, it's true.
we got to figure out something different for them, because they're going to get off on the idea of being put into a camp. They're going to be like, my God, Hitman's down slightly.
Yep.
I swear to God.
That's how. Really, that's the thing, is reality continues on. It's their little bubble world that they live in. It's all fucked up. It's just they project that bubble world onto us, and we have to fucking deal with it. That's all it is.
Well, not that I read this kind of smut.
Allegedly.
Yes, you do.
But fuck you. But have you seen some of the shit these female gooners be writing?
I actively avoid it. Thank you.
I have seen the memes, unfortunately.
I've read some
the
of the
memes.
stories. I've read some of it.
Well,
It's
well,
fucking. It's.
the memes exist for a reason.
Oh, absolutely. And notice how there's a little more bestiality in it. That's how you know it's white women. Anyways.
This is true.
Well, remember what they say about white... Hold up. Dale, when I find this GIF, you need to put it in the show.
Yes. I'm also going to include another picture, though this one I'm not sure I can include in the show because it's a bit spicy, but I'm at least going to put it up for us since we're on that specific topic.
All right, side chat. Oh yeah, well that meme works too.
Yes.
But yeah, side chat. Check the GIF.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I don't really know about the cat girl, but have you seen Rachel Wind?
No.
Not a clue who that even is.
If I had to guess, it's either A, a VTuber, or B, a horse girl.
Yeah,
Well, let me put it this way. I can't really vouch too much for the cat girl, but check that chat.
Oh, good lord, now what?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yes, you're a fanboy. We got it.
Stoner is now horny posting in the chat. We're reaching levels of degeneracy not expected.
Hey, it's PG.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Jesus
could.
Christ. All right. Real quick. Because we've gotten off topic at this point in time. Fuck it. Let's talk about this. All right, so this is Spike, which, if you guys aren't aware, this is one of those little lulbert fuckheads that, you know, just black pills all the fucking time. Italian gunmaker.
Spike going?
No, Spike's guides. Italian gunmaker. Here, I'll put. You guys will recognize this fucking profile picture immediately here. Italian gunmaker Beretta launches proxy fight for U.S. arms giant Sturm, Ruger & Co. All right. And then Spike goes on to say, the American gun industry is rapidly becoming like the rest of the American economy, foreign owned. CSG owns Federal, Remington, CCI, Spear, and Heavy Shot. By the way, they bought the firearms side of Remington. The ammunition side of Remington is owned by PSA. Colt CZ owns all of Colt. Browning and Winchester owned by FN Herstal of Belgium. Beretta now is picking at Ruger and their subsidiaries. This is not the sign of a healthy nation with a strong, robust growing economy. This is stagnation and decline. All right, so let's fucking get into this, because all of these companies, let's just go down the list. Colt damn near fell apart. CZ came in and fucking bought it up for pennies on the fucking dollar. Tell me a Colt product that is at all fucking worth it. Period in the story.
The Car 15.
No. That's an AR. You can go anywhere and buy one of those. So try again.
Colt Python.
Try again. Revolvers are useless, worthless, and fucking junk. Anyway.
I'm gonna have to disagree with that.
Whatever. You can. I don't care.
Fuck you. I will take my Schofield and Colt single action any day.
Okay, congratulations. And I've got 20 rounds of fucking 9 that are fucking I'm putting holes in you with. Anyhow.
Gonna have to hit me first.
Nobody can fucking, yeah, I can fucking hit you pretty well. So Colt, worthless. Browning and Winchester. Browning and Winchester haven't produced fucking jack shit really for fucking years. Winchester Model 70s, they fell out of production. They just brought them back under FN, and FN is basically subsidizing the production.
Yeah.
Browning hasn't made a product really. They're just producing old products. They haven't made a new product in fucking years. Let's go Federal, Remington, CCI, Spear, and Heavy Shot. So I don't know who the fuck Heavy Shot is. I honestly don't fucking care. Spear, I think I know who that is, but I'm not 100% sure. But I know who CCI, Remington, and fucking Federal are. First off,
Spear is ammunition.
What'd you say?
Spear is ammunition. You would probably recognize it as Spear Gold Dot.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. That's well, shit. I haven't seen that brand in fucking years. So let's just start. So let's cover Federal, Spear, and CCI. First off, gentlemen, what is the one thing that is the most expensive component of any cartridge produced in the world? What's the most expensive part of it?
Right.
The casing.
Yep, the brass. Oh, yeah, brass, usually.
And guess what? Everybody? What does the U.S. only have one company that does brass? Oh, that's right. There's only one fucking brass smelter in the entire country that produces brass for production of casings. Only one. The only other one is Lake City. And Lake City doesn't even produce that much brass of their own. They buy the majority of it from Starlight.
Unfortunately.
Something like 80% of Starlight sales every year are to the government. Because they're the only ones producing fucking cartridges. CCI.
Right.
They produce powder and primers. Powder and primers that, across the board, because we've cut mining the way we have, the stuff to get powder done has, how many powder companies have gone out of business within the past few years?
Yeah, combination
Primers.
of price to manufacture and all the regulations that got added.
Now, primers, in order to do primers, the setup you need is if I remember correctly, the low level setups are around $500,000.
More than that, because you're dealing with explosives.
No. I'm saying just the equipment and the building required to produce primers. Just that component of it. Not talking about the regulations, not talking about the licensing, not talking about any of the other overhead bullshit that you have to deal with. It's $500,000 bare minimum to build a small facility with the small machinery that you can pick up on the cheap. $500,000.
Probably more now because of construction. If you're building a facility from scratch, it's actually guaranteed more than that.
The type of fortified facility you need, it's not much. I've done the numbers, and my contractor dude, me and him have sat down and talked about it. Remember, I'm looking to start a powder company.
Yes, I remember.
But no, the point is like $500,000 bare minimum just to produce primers. That's not to produce powder as well. Because if you add powder and primers into the same fucking building, you're looking at probably about $2 to $2.5 million bare minimum. Bare minimum.
Doesn't surprise me.
And that includes the building, the machinery, and then the bunkers to store the shit. And the land.
Yeah, that's
okay.
if you can find cheap land.
Yeah, true. And find a county that's willing to sign off on it, because nobody wants to put their name on a munitions company.
Yeah.
No county inspector wants to put their fucking name on that. The permitting process, fucking PSA was held up in permitting for like 5-6 years for their facility.
Sounds about right.
Federal has been a failing brand for years and years and years because it's been overshadowed by cheaper stuff coming from overseas.
Yep.
The only reason why I buy Federal is because they're the only brand. They're the only brand that I can consistently find that produces hollow points, which is required for my job. But by the way, they don't produce their own casings. They don't produce their own brass. They buy it from Sterling.
I gotta ask. Why is it that security and police officers can use hollow points, but they're verboten for the military?
Because the military. Okay, so that actually goes back to when shotguns were being used in combat. Hollow points were they were caught up in that because shotguns and hollow points made it very hard to stitch people up. Whereas in the case of policing action or policing operations, you need a low penetration round in order to effectively prevent from having the over penetration that is you're accustomed to when it comes to standard rounds. That's why.
Which also is the reason why the AK-74 round is so devastating, is because it has a small hollow cavity right behind the nose of the slug.
Yep.
Instead of being a solid round. So it deforms as it's hitting squishy bits.
Yep.
Like a hollow point normally would.
Now that's not the case on like 7 and 39, 7 and 40. It's not the case, but yeah, you're right. PS and What's the other round called? I forget. But yeah, you're correct. But yeah, no. The simple fact is that across the board, it's like I can tell you exactly why all these companies are owned by other companies. I can tell you exactly what it is. Hell, in the case of Ruger and their umbrella, Ruger's been a failing company for years. They've literally had to buy other companies to prop up their shit for years. I cannot tell you the last time I talked to somebody who bought a Ruger product. I can't.
About the only thing that sells really well from Ruger nowadays is the 1022.
I don't even know people who buy 1022s. The only 22 that I know people that I've personally had people buy in my life has been the AR-22 that Smith & Wesson did.
Really? That surprises.
Well, because they buy it because. So, frankly speaking, why do you buy a 22? Why buy a 22?
Well, personally, I buy a 22 for squirrel hunting.
I use an air gun.
Yep, same here.
Well, ain't y'all just fancy?
No, that's not fancy. That's called we're using a better tool. 22, the only reason why you buy 22 is as a training aid for kids. Only reason.
Or adults, because ammunition prices are so high nowadays.
But no, that's the whole point, is that the only time I use a 22 is the Smith & Wesson 22, M&P 22, and it is, or M&P 1522. And the only reason why I have that, or I don't have it, my cousin has it. You know, I just threw him half the money to buy it. But the only reason why we have that is a training aid for people who want to learn how to shoot. And so we start them on that as a, basic little thing. But that's the point is, again, I've never bought a Ruger product. I'll never buy a Ruger product. Ruger does not appeal to me in any way, shape, or form. Smith & Wesson appeals to me. And now that they've put out that fucking full aluminum body fucking M&P 9, if I ever swap away from my VP 9, I'll buy that nice little thing right there. But I'm never why would I name a company that actually is making good shit? Oh wait, Palmetto State Armory.
Yeah, now that they've got their QC figured out for the most part, they make excellent products.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, who's one of the largest grossing companies in the firearm industry? It's Palmetto State Armory.
That would not surprise me.
All these big names that Spike here is bitching about, I'll just go back through the list. Ruger hasn't innovated in years. The last big product that Ruger put out was their 5.7 pistol, and it sold like shit because they did not try to supply ammunition into the market. And by the way, when a round for a pistol costs $2 a fucking shot, nobody's gonna buy it.
Ain't that the truth?
So Browning.
Hey, Dale has to step away for a few minutes.
Okay. But Browning has not innovated. Winchester has not innovated. Remington, again, I'll mention, Palmetto State swooped in, bought up the ammunition side of Remington, and yoinked that out from under CSG completely, which, by the way, I remember that whole fiasco. CSG tried suing Palmetto State over that. And then the courts were like, no, it was a legitimate sale. You can't sue because they bought something. Fuck you. So CSG got stuck with a shitty little gun company that they can't fucking do anything with anyway. Because, oh, by the way, Remington has never fucking When's the last time that Remington innovated? Oh, that's right, the 90s.
Yeah, and then Springfield, they just rehash their own stuff or import other countries' creations. Yeah.
There's been a severe lack of innovation within the market. Oh, by the way, notice how all the companies, Ohio Ordnance, PSA, fucking Caltech.
I wish I could add Caltech to that list, but their quality control is atrocious.
Yeah, no, their quality control is fucking atrocious, but it's the innovation. That's what I'm talking about.
Their quality control does suffer when like 90% of your budget just goes up your nose.
But
The best way I can describe Caltech is it's what happens when you give Florida man copious amounts of cocaine and polymer.
Yes.
Yeah,
but no.
much.
Here's the point. Is you have all these other companies that are innovating, and they're going strong. Caltech has problems. You know what Caltech does? Hey, send that back to us. We'll fix it.
Yeah, they do.
Caltech will fix shit until it works right. Palmetto State, ship it back to us. We'll fix it. Or hell, we'll just send you something.
Yeah. Yeah, I know a guy that has got three PSAs that are the same thing because the first two they couldn't get. They just weren't working properly. And they sent it back twice. No, they sent it back. Yeah, he sent it back twice. The second time he got it back, it still wasn't working. So they just sent him a duplicate. So now he has two for the price of one.
But no, that's the point. Is the companies that are actually doing well are the ones that are innovating. Look at the Jackal.
Oh, God, yeah.
PSA managed to get the ACR working right.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when Bushmaster takes over. They killed the program.
Yeah.
When Magpul was still doing it, they actually were making progress. As soon as Bushmaster bought it, it was DOA.
Yeah. But that's the point, though, is that all the companies, and again, look at Bushmaster.
They don't even exist anymore except for a name.
No, that's my point. They're a relic. Fucking look at again, it's hilarious to me how somebody can be like, my foreign ownership when they don't even like they're just bitch. They don't actually fucking care to explain why things happen, or they just refuse to find out why things happen. Because it's like, yeah, of course these other concerns came in and bought shit up because it's household names. Duh. They want to be able to get into the U.S. market. So they buy a company with a household name. There's a reason why now everybody's fucking switching to PSA. And here's the funny part. My dad is the funniest motherfucker ever because he's seen how many rounds I put through my fucking AK so far throughout my time of owning it. And I haven't had a single fucking issue with it. And he's sitting there and he's like, okay, maybe they did fucking fix their shit. Maybe they fucking did. And it blows him away because back when he was first getting into guns, due to me, PSA was, quote unquote garbage. But here's the thing is even when they were having their massive QC problems, PSA would just fucking fix it.
Uh-huh.
They would just fix it. They'd be like, nope, send it back to us. Or hell, we'll send you shit. We don't give a fuck. We'll get it working.
Yep. They went through 3 or 4 or even 5 units just to get one that worked right for the customer.
Yeah.
And they covered all of the costs. You weren't out of single.
And guess what? You know what the biggest problem was when it came to their AR line, for example?
What?
It was the guys putting it together.
Yeah, it wasn't
they replaced
manufacturer.
No, it was the assembly. They replaced the entire group of guys that were responsible for assembling shit. They don't have problems anymore because would just slap shit together haphazardly. And for example, one of the biggest problems with PSA stuff back in the day, what was it? Barrels weren't aligned right, so the gas ports weren't aligned with the gas block, so it could actually cycle the rifle.
Yep.
That was one of the most common problems. Bolt carrier heads being cracked because they weren't inspecting properly. So on and so forth. But they got shit working. They fixed it. They would put out hundreds of dollars to get your shit working.
Yep.
Oh, and by the way, they're selling this shit for $350.
Yeah, a little bit more now, but yeah. Well,
no, their baseline rifles are $350 fucking dollars.
Their MSRP, the MSRP on the website's usually around the $550 mark, but they have them on sale so often they might as well be about $350 to $400.
Yeah, and mind you, when you can pick up for $600, $700, when you can pick up a rifle with a handgun. Oh, by the way, it's just a Glock. It's just a Glock Gen 3 at the end of the fucking day. That's exactly what it is.
It's a Gen. If you replace the back plate on the slide, it's a Gen 3 Glock, and all the Gen 3 parts work on it.
Yeah, I know.
If you replace the back plate with the Gen 3 Glock back plate, yeah, it's hilarious.
But no, that's the thing. Like, honestly speaking, had PSA came out with the dagger a year, I'd say about a year and a half before I got my VP9, I would have just bought a dagger. I would still have my 229. I would have just bought the dagger for work.
Makes perfect sense to me.
But no, that's the whole thing, is that if people are going to have an opinion on this shit, they should actually tell people why those companies own shit that they do. But no, we can't do that. Yeah, fucking retarded people.
Yep.
I'll be right back.
All right.
So, when you come to the United States, what's going to be the first gun you buy?
That's a good question. I'm not presently sure. Probably gonna have to get a handgun. Well, probably gonna have to get a handgun of some sort.
Hey.
What do you want to use it for?
Self-defense against human-sized targets.
Honestly speaking, Dale, I'm gonna
say go with the PSA deal where you get an AR-15 and a dagger.
Yeah, I'm literally gonna pull it up real quick.
Because that'll get you an AR-15, which is really good for home defense, and it'll get you a Glock. And they come in a couple different sizes. They come in full size. They come in compacts, and they've got almost all the modifications somebody would do to a Glock already done.
Oh, that's good.
So all you would do is add a red dot and a light to the rifle, and you're good.
Right.
And you can get the red right off of PSA. You can get both parts off PSA with it.
And are PSA products relatively inexpensive compared to like other?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, all right, good to know.
They are literally half the price or less.
That is very good to know.
Okay, unfortunately, they're not running the special on the standard. Hold on, let me see. Let me check their deals.
And when you get the brain fart, my apologies. When you get their rifles or pistols, usually they come with extra magazines and a bunch of other stuff.
Always good.
They have stuff go on sale every single week. So if you don't like the deal they have going one week, you just wait another week and you'll find something.
All right.
And it sounds like the ball looking around on the website right now.
Yep, I'm literally doing that. I'm trying to see, because they have one deal that's going right now for AR with a dagger, but it's one of the shorty ARs, and 12.5 is the barrel length you want. Well, unfortunately, I can't find it. But yeah, here, let me do this real quick. Dagger. Yep, this is the kind of deal you can get. So,
you know, it's the old shopping joke: everyday low prices with Primary State, or Palmetto. Sorry,
Palmetto.
That's not a joke. It really is everyday low prices.
Yeah, Dale, I just posted the link for you. That's a full size with 10 fucking magazines.
That's pretty
for
good.
the cost. So the price that I paid there is the price that I paid for my carry gun. And it just came with the gun and the mags that came in the case. Well, if it hadn't gotten stolen, I would have had to buy all the other mags and whatnot.
Yeah, that right there is at least $100 less than the new Gen 5 Glocks.
Interesting. Fun fact: when you said dagger at first, I thought you meant it came with a bayonet attachment for the AR. Not that the gun was called a dagger.
Yeah. Oops. Yeah, that's fair.
The PSA dagger, it's a solid handgun.
Oh yeah.
It's a Glock Gen 3. It's literally a Glock Gen 3. It's a reproduction of the Glock Gen 3. Because Glock let the patent for the Gen 3 lapse. They didn't defend the patent. And so then they literally just scooped it up and started producing.
Very nice. What's the current Gen Glock? Is it Gen 4 now?
Gen 5.
Gen 4.
The Gen 5 just came out. They were going to wait a couple more years to do it, but they just did it because of all the Glock switches. And, oh, by the way, a week after the Gen 5 came out, people had already figured out how to modify them for the Glock switches.
Very nice.
Yep.
Literally within a week. But, the other really good... if you get a lemon dagger, they're really good about replacing them. They do show up, but they're really good about dealing with that issue.
What do you mean by a lemon?
It's an old term for a bad car.
Oh.
If it has gremlins or it's a lemon, it just doesn't work right.
I see.
So if you get one that has problems, PSA is really good. Even
even now, they're really good about fixing stuff. And if you're looking for really good optics, Primary Arms is actually really good as well.
All right.
Actually, I have a recommendation for optics. So here, real quick, here's a rifle for you. That, it comes with a decent little handguard that isn't complete garbage, and you're not dealing with any of the bullshit because it's a 16-inch barrel.
Let's see which one you posted.
Well, it's just our standard mid-length.
Doesn't seem too bad.
Oh, it's not showing up inside chat for me.
It's not?
It's right there.
Yeah, no, sometimes I have to leave chat and then come back in.
Fair enough. Good old Discord.
But this is...
I kind of wouldn't mind having the PSA's M16A4 reproduction.
Yeah, it's still not showing up for me. Oh well. Did you put it inside chat or did you put it in general?
It's in the side chat.
Okay.
Is it possible that it just looks like one link because they're right next to each other, like one right after the other?
Yes, that is what happened. Good catch.
All right.
Oh, and it comes with the upgraded trigger.
What is upgraded about the trigger? Like, what is the difference between the standard trigger and the upgraded trigger?
If that's the one I think it is, it's got lubricated coating on it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it basically functions in similarity to when Anderson put out their lightweight aluminum triggers that were like 2 pound. Which everybody fucking used those things because they were fucking insane.
Yeah, he makes sort of a version. There's a couple of versions. Generally speaking, I'm not incredibly familiar with the Saberclaw 2-stage. I'm familiar with the single-stage ones, which are they're manufactured to a slightly tighter tolerance, and then they do. Then they've got better polish and deburring work on them, and they have. In this case, it's a DLC coating, which is a. I forget exactly how they do it, but it is an It's a type of mixed chemical that is aerosolized in a case with the trigger components, and then they pump a crap ton of electricity through that, which molecularly bonds it to the metal.
Yep.
There's other ways to do things like that, but that's the most common.
So I also sent my recommendation for optics. So this is Swamp Fox. Great little company. I've gotten to use their optics. On my dad's guns.
Yeah, I personally have had some issues with them, so I normally go with Primary Arms, but generally speaking, Swamp Fox is pretty good.
Well, I'm a bougie bitch. I only use fucking Aimpoint, but my thing is that I'm a lover of magnifiers. So that's my personal thing. I think magnifiers are the best way to go. That's just, again, my personal take. But
yeah,
the thing is that if you're looking for something general purpose, and especially if you have worse eyes, I don't know what your eyes are like, Dale. The Swamp Fox Triforce, Triforce, fuck, I forget what it's called. Trihawk, that's what it's called. The Trihawk is a 3-power prism
What is the
So-
what is a prism optic exactly, as compared to other optics? I've not heard of that one yet. Like, this is the first time I've heard of a prism.
So-
sight.
So, basically, there's some internal manufacturing shit that goes on with it. The main draw of prism optics is that people who have astigmatism, for example,
Mhm.
they can see through them perfectly.
I see.
It's how they display the reticle on the glass.
Yeah. But it's how
With-
your
with-
eye
Go ahead.
perceives it is the way your eye perceives it. Even if you have really bad eyes, you can see that bitch clearly.
Yep.
But if someone has normal eyesight, does that mean there's not really
Nope.
much of a?
Nope. It works still.
Yeah, that works.
And
Yeah. What I meant is, does that mean, say you have normal eyesight, does that mean then there's no real reason to get a prism over a traditional red dot?
well, the draw of the Tri-Hawk is that it's a 3-power output. So it lets you reach out a little bit without being so ridiculous. It's kind of like the ACOG. The ACOG, you can get behind an ACOG, a 3.4, and
Yeah, you
get
guys
behind an
you gotta be
ACOG.
specific which ACOG. Some of them work a lot better than others.
Well, I'm talking, yes, but I'm saying like just in terms of power.
Yeah.
You can get behind a 3.4 optic power ACOG, and you can still use it close up, no problem. The problem with the ACOG, for example, is that the eye relief on the ACOG is pretty garbage.
I see.
It's an almost 30-year-old optic now.
No, they need to come out with a new version. They
Yeah.
definitely need to work on it.
If you get the lower magnification ones, the eye box and the eye relief is much better. But if you get it's the TA-31, which is what the Marine Corps got, and then the rest of the military got. The eye relief on that is like 1.5 inches. It's like 1.72 inches. It's horrendous. The average eye relief on magnified optics nowadays is between 3 and 3.5 inches, and some of them are more than that.
So that, again, I recommend Swamp Fox because they got a little bit for everybody.
Yeah,
You know,
I personally really like the reticle that Primary Arms developed because it is so stupid simple.
no, and my thing personally, like I'm a fan of EOTech because of that, the three dot EOTechs.
Oh
Because-
yeah, you got 65 circle and the 3 dots in a ladder. Yep.
Yep, I fucking love that optic.
Yeah,
problem
I
is-
used to have one of those. And I used to have a Trigicon ACOG, and I loved them both for different uses.
But my problem is now, EOTech's quality control has gone to complete shit,
Mm-hmm.
and they're shipping out bad fucking glass almost every fucking day, to the point where it's like, no. That's actually why I bought the aim point that I did, which I'm still hesitant to pick up a SIG magnifier because that's the magnifier that aligns with the RDS that I have. But that's just because I don't trust SIG.
I think Primary Arms has one that lines up at the same dimensions,
I will have to look into that.
and I think they've got a 3-power and a 5-power that do it.
I'm wondering, when I eventually get down there and get my first couple guns, do you think it's worth also getting a shotgun?
They're not bad things to have, but honestly, on the list of the 4 different types of firearms, which would be pistol, semi-automatic rifle, usually AR-15s, shotguns, and bolt-action rifles, Shotgun is number 3.
Is bolt action number 4?
Unless you're hunting or doing precision shooting, bolt actions are generally number 4.
I see.
So personal take. You have an AR because 5.56 is cheap.
Yeah.
You get an AR-10 because you want to be able to reach out and fucking touch people in the face.
Yeah,
Or
which
tickle
is
them in the chest,
generally
you know.
speaking.
And then in terms of everything else past that, you know, I like, for example, I only have a shotgun for one reason and one reason only. I paid $50 for it.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Freaking lucky, you piece of you POS.
I paid $50 for a $500 fucking shotgun.
Those are selling for 7 or 8 now.
Oh, no. I got it in a raffle.
Huh?
I got it in a raffle.
Yeah, no, I know. You said for a $500 shotgun, and I said no. They're actually selling for 7 to 8 right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember you got that in a raffle.
But no, that's the whole thing. Is at the end of the day, you know, that's the only reason why I have a shotgun is because of work. And even then, like, I'm still not really. I'm not really on board with fucking having a shotgun because I don't like shotguns all that much. But
they have specific use cases, and they've got high recoil compared to pistols and rifles and semi-automatic rifles.
Yeah.
I'll actually give me a split second. I had something come up real fast. I'll actually get into my methodology when it comes to things. Just give me a moment. You guys can continue talking.
All right. So while Mike is busy, I'm just wondering, for a 16.5-inch barrel AR with chambered in 5.56, is there at all a worry about over-penetration on, say, soft human-sized targets? Like, say, in the case of home defense?
It will punch through any human, but so will pistol rounds, and so will shotgun rounds.
True.
But
will it continue through and go through walls as well?
It depends. Yes, it will. The real question on that is how many drywall walls it'll go through, which depends entirely on the ammunition you're using.
Oh.
If you get high quality defensive ammunition for an AR, they're either polymer tipped. You've got 3 general kinds. You've got polymer tipped ammunition. Mm-hmm. You've got soft point, which are designed to deform really quickly, or you actually have, hollow point ammunition, which again designed to deform really quickly. Mm-hmm. Those, generally speaking, will go through a person and then 2 sheets of drywall and about 2 sheets of drywall. Most American homes, a wall is 2 sheets of drywall. Oh. And sometimes they'll stop in the second sheet of drywall. Pistol ammunition will go through 2 to 3 sheets of drywall as well.
Right. So I would have thought a rifle would be a lot, since it's a much longer barrel, it would have, been a much more, it would punch through more than a pistol.
It is entirely it's almost entirely dependent on the design of the slug, of the round itself, and how it's what weight it is compared to its velocity. Pistol ammunition, it doesn't deform as quickly, generally speaking, and a lot of pistol ammunition is round nose, unless you're using quality defensive ammunition again. So it really is a case of what's behind what you're shooting and what kind of ammunition you're using. But more often than not, now when it comes to rifle ammunition, I'm specifically talking about 223 Remington or 5.56 NATO, which is basically the same thing. One is the 5.56 is just a hotter round. It just It's got more ass behind it. They're very similar in penetration. If you're using good quality ammunition. If you're using range ammo that's solid front, the rifle ammunition will go through more.
Right.
Because it's got more ass behind it. Up to a certain, and then it changes by distance.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, you're decent either way as long as you're using good defensive ammunition. I prefer a rifle. I prefer a rifle in a home myself if it has a light and a red dot on top of it, because you're going to be more accurate